Hi there, entrepreneur. Do you ever feel stuck? Like, oh my God, what am I going to choose next? Or it might be triggered by one of those dumb questions you get at crappy interviews, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, I'll tell you what, if you're like me and you've gone through many entrepreneurial experiences, from time to time you'll grow and you'll be in a new space. And that new space is bigger than you've been in before, and integrity will slip. And new opportunities that you've never had before will arise. And not all of them are opportunities. What ends up happening is we have this crisis of identity. Who are we? Where are we? And answering a question like, where do we see ourselves in 3, 5, 7, 10 years from now is ridiculous because we really don't know where we are right now. It's new space. And as an entrepreneur, this is going to happen over and over and over again. I've had it happen to me hundreds of times in my 12 years as an entrepreneur. And on top of that, I've had clients where I've had this conversation with several times. So this same conversation we're going to have right now, I've had this with clients, the same client, more than once. And the reason why is because every time we grow, we go through something like this. So what is an entrepreneurial identity crisis? Well, think about it this way. If I'm sitting in this space and I don't know what opportunity to choose because I don't know really who I am or what I want right now, you're kind of in a crisis, right? What are we choosing? And the fact is that if you're an entrepreneur, you actually have a problem about abundance, right? That sounds totally opposite of what it should be, right? You usually have problems with scarcity of resource, not abundance. But the reality is having abundance of opportunities to choose from is actually just as anxiety driving as having no resources to take action on those opportunities. Well, there's good news. There's a solution to this. And so what I want to do is have this conversation with you and give you a very easy 6-step process that you can use over and over again. And if you find that this conversation is really hitting a note with you, on the sidebar, I have an opt-in for a handout and worksheet that you can just use as much as you want. So here's how this works. When you're going through that space, which is crazy, all this stuff is in front of you. I don't know what opportunities I need to choose. I don't know which ones are the right ones. I don't know which ones are the wrong ones. And I feel like I've got no time, no energy, no money, no focus to get in any of these. What I want you to do is the first thing you need to do is recognize that you are in this space and then take a deep breath. Because in meditation, they talk about presence. You got to get to presence. The easiest way to get to presence is to focus on your breath. Because what are you doing in the present? Breathing. Super simple, right? Now that we get there and we recognize that we're in an identity crisis, we can stop answering the question, where do we see ourselves in 5 years? Stop it. Don't even worry about it. Instead, what I want you to do is start finding clarity around the things you're already doing. And what I mean by clarity is I would like you to take inventory. First, take inventory of what you don't like about what's going on because you're probably agitated. It might be easier to talk about the things that you don't like or even hate about what's going on in your current projects. Then I want you to look at all the things that are going well. Because the reality is one of the easiest ways to get back from like kind of chaos and pain is to show gratitude and to express that gratitude out loud. People talk about gratitude journals and all the rest of it, and I like to fight my bad days with gratitude. So if you go through that, I want you to take a list and go through and say, here's all the things I love or like about what I'm up to right now. What we're doing is we're finding clarity in 2 categories. What don't I like and what do I like? Those 2 things will give us clarity to assess every single opportunity we're already in. So if you're in a project and you get this clarity, you can see what parts of that project are really serving your future goals in your life, your future clarity, that moment, that presence even of how you want to feel and be, and then which parts of it are not really serving you. And that is going to be the way that you're going to assess the upcoming possibilities and opportunities. So as those new opportunities, which are abundant, because realistically, as an entrepreneur, you see opportunity everywhere. The problem is some are false positives. Some are going to result in negative impacts. And some opportunities are truly opportunities, but just not for you. They're not fit for you, right? They're for someone else. They're for you at a different level of resource or a different level of focus. And some are neutral. There's really no gain in them. They might just be movement for movement's sake. And then some are like the steps towards the new stuff that you really want to do. And then some are the true opportunities, the ones that make your heart sing, the ones that make you excited about going in and doing that project. And those are the ones that we're going to look for. Because in the end of the day, you really just need to find those opportunities to illuminate the path of your future. If you find enough of those opportunities because your clarity keeps getting more and more clear because you keep practicing this, you're going to find that your life is filled with great projects. And that's going to be the growth that you've been looking for. It's going to be the energy that you've been looking for. So the trick is say no. You got to say no to the opportunities that just aren't the right opportunities. I know personally, this is one of the hardest decisions to make. I've since created a 90-minute introduction when I meet new potential consulting clients. That 90 minutes is specific, and it's for a reason. The first 60 minutes is to help a client articulate their technology problem, because it's not always easy. And I need to really get a clear picture of what the projects or the ideas of what they're going on. But even more than that, I'm getting a feel for what this person's energy is like. How are they going to treat me and my team? Are they realistic about this project, or are they kind of wishing that they could do a $10,000 project with $100? We have to figure those things out. And then I want to see if we're a good match, because I know I've got a different personality. We're the counterculture. We're not we don't wear khakis and polos. We're a little tattooed. We're very clear and transparent and forward. So I have to know that it's a good fit for me, because I need to know that when I go to work and I go to that job, that me and my team are going to be excited about it, and that it's going to be a success because of that. So when we go through these things, I've become more and more clear by doing this exact process so that I can assess every single meeting I go to. And what's resulted in is 5 years of business, a team of 4, and projects I love with clients I've had for years, and new clients coming down the pipeline that I'm really excited to work with. And I want that for you. So let's just review really quickly. When you're feeling this way, find the clarity. Really be honest. What's working? What's not working? What do I like? What don't I like? Look at what you've got going on right now. Look at what's coming down the pipeline and say no. And then do this all the time. Every time that you feel this, when you recognize you're in this entrepreneurial identity crisis, do this. Now, I've got another note for you as kind of a bonus. Something that came up in a client conversation just the other day. It's about your identity and your business. I've had the unfortunate pleasure to go through closing companies. Every entrepreneur's worst nightmare. I've experienced it. 3.5 years of court, all sorts of problems, good friends becoming best enemies, all sorts of things happening. It was one of the most painful experiences of my life, but it was one of the best experiences in my life. And the reason why is because I discovered something amazing, and that changed my future for the rest of my life. And that is, I made one gigantic mistake. In all of the closing of the companies, I made many mistakes, but there was one gigantic one. And that was when I made my identity, my personal identity, who I was, who I am, my company. Because my company is not who I am. When those companies shattered, so did I. It was one of the most painful experiences I've ever had. In that experience, though, I shed all of my identity, in which case I can put in any identity that I wanted. So I started becoming more and more clear. I started this practice. And when I got through it, I discovered something. The identity of my business is the identity of my business. My business is an expression of my vision. My vision is an experiment. And if it fails, then it fails. If it succeeds, then it succeeds. My experiment succeeded. It is not my value. It's not my personal value. I am not Digital Ninja Consulting. I am a digital ninja in a community of digital ninjas. I am a consultant in this space. My company will be successful because I'm clear about my opportunities, and I've become more clear in my life and through my experiences. But my success as a person is going to be because I don't let failures be my identity. They're a part of my experience. That's it. So as you grow your business, I suggest you consider thinking about your business in a way that it's not you. That way you can experiment freely and you can disconnect a little bit and do a little bit more, be a little bit more bold, and then shed all of that stuff that other people will tell you, especially people who aren't entrepreneurs, because guess what? They don't get it, and you know that. So don't listen to them. They don't have advice for you. I hope you found this as solid advice that you can use and that you can run with in your life. And I hope that I shoot more like this and you come back and you visit and that we become friends. We become a part of a community, a whole bunch of digital ninjas out there changing the face of what business needs to be because we're leading with our minds, our hearts, our souls, and we're really clear about what we're up to. So, as always, geek out. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out what we have to offer. We have the opt-in for the worksheet that we created for you on the side. I don't know which side. And then we should have a transcript of this as well as a podcast of this. And follow us on the YouTube channel. I'm going to try to do one of these every month that's going to be really about the conversations I have with clients. And then follow us on the social webs all over the place. We'd love to see you there. Have a good one.